My name's Don.
And I'm Peter.
And we are two plebs talking about... California.
Yes, this week in the...
DPRC.
Good afternoon, everybody.
Well, it's this week of the DPRC. I know what the bar is around here, but it's still not that good.
Okay, when it comes to this particular segment, I don't think we even reference the bar.
That's true. There is no bar. Anyway, that's it. Today's show is going to be a little bit different than our usual This Week in the DPRC or even our usual Two Plebs show because...
Normally we talk about a single subject.
Yeah, and California just went a little too full retard this week.
They decided to use the shotgun of gold on us.
Right.
So we are going to talk about multiple subjects in this today.
And starting with some peak California retardation that way.
Yes. It was Calaveras County.
Calaveras County. Well, that'll matter in a minute. So, California legalized the sale and distribution of pot, but really sort of said anybody down to I don't know, a meter maid could ban you from actually selling it within whatever control they had. Because we write laws badly here, and that's just how we do things.
Right.
And so, Calaveras County...
Yes.
Took a bunch of money to license growers of pot.
Yep.
And then, seemingly the moment that they did, they went, you know what? We're not going to let anybody grow pot here anymore.
Yeah, so they took their fees, they processed permits to let people become growers and make their living that way.
Yep.
They said, by the way, now that we got your cash, fuck you! It's not allowed! Go ahead, do it. We're going to throw you in jail. We know we gave you a permit, but you're going to go to jail.
Right.
So, yes, but no.
And if this isn't some pure California socialist crap, I think nothing is. Regardless of whatever you think of legal marijuana, this is retarded.
It is retarded. You can't have a state say, sure, this is the thing, go ahead and do it. And then, individual counties go, no, right. It's not. Especially after you give us your money.
Right. That there is, okay, fine. Individual county, say no. Say yes. Whatever. It's the law. It's the way it is.
Right.
Do your thing. But you don't get to do both, right?
Yeah, you don't get to go, give me your money so you can process permits and make it look like we're going to let you after you've given us a lot of money and then well, we've made our money. Anybody else? Nope. No.
Yeah.
That does not... Not going to fly.
This is purely the kind of thing I think that you would find. And look, someone's going to be like, in Texas in 1963, this happened. Okay, fine. But...
Well, that was wrong then, too.
Right. The reality is, this is the kind of thing that happens in California all the time, right?
Right.
I mean, whatever it is that California likes but doesn't really like or doesn't like at all, they're like, oh, you can do this, okay, we lied. Oh, you can do this, okay, we lied.
Right.
This is just how it works here. So, I mean, as amusing as this was, I was sort of completely unsurprised.
Yes.
So,
it's just fucked up.
It is, but look at our evolving thing going on with the assault weapons ban. This is the same thing. You're allowed to have this. Okay, you're not allowed to have it anymore. We lied, turn in the ones that you have. Or register them.
Right.
So, I mean, it's pretty standard practice California shit to do.
Right.
So, maybe it's just me. And by the way, if you live outside of this state and you're like, but I hate marijuana anyway, think about the way that, assuming that this is permitted to just stay the way that it is and, all these people don't just sue the pants off Calaveras County. The reality here is what they said is, we can issue you a business license, stop you from actually opening your business for X period of time, and then go, you know what? Never mind.
But we're going to keep your money.
Yeah. So, I mean, look, again, it sucks for all of these people. All right, fair. Maybe it's not that funny to them, and I'm sure it's not.
Well, I'm pretty sure it's not either.
Right, because when I was looking at this last, they were talking about hey, give us $10,000. and we'll give you a grow license. Now, I don't know if that was Calaveras County and that was just a number being thrown around a while ago.
Right.
But if that's what they did,
right.
If there was 10 people here, they just paid for an employee's salary for the year and then didn't actually do anything.
Right. And then you have to think of it this way. If the people were allowed to get the permits and all that good stuff, like, yeah, we're going to let this happen. We got the permit process going. And then they start making other steps to get that business going. They're making investments. They're restructuring their lives for that to be their method of income. And then it just said, by the way, no.
Yeah.
You've just ruined all these people.
Right. Because guaranteed all those people didn't just go, well, here's the money for my license. They, bought land, they invested in whatever other farming equipment is what it comes down to that they needed.
Right.
Pound sand. Oh, and sure, you could go somewhere else, but your land is pretty well stuck here. Oh, and so is your money.
Right.
And by the way, I know this might sound unrelated, but this is a thing that, again, is pervasive in this state, and they want to give control of everyone's health care to these people.
No.
Give me your money. Fuck you when it comes to a service.
Yeah, no. Yeah, if that's how they're going to run that service, I don't want them all in charge of my health care.
Right? Well, this seems obvious. But
I fully expect to get the same thing that we heard from the UK. Sorry, you're too fat. We're not going to give you health services.
Definitely. And unless you're an illegal immigrant, then it would be, I don't know, against the law to deny you because reasons.
Right.
But if you're a citizen, go fuck yourself.
Well, unfortunately, I'm a citizen, and I'm fat, so I would get no services.
Renounce your U.S. citizenship. Apparently it'll work out better for you.
Apparently.
Anyway. So I think we can agree that this is a gigantic shit show. And speaking of shit shows...
Right.
There's
the next nugget that flung our way.
Well, it definitely is nugget worthy. So there is a not-so-new app. But it is...
Well, it was very specific to an area, which is why we didn't catch it when it first came out.
Well, no.
Then we weren't making a show then.
Yeah, we were not doing a show. I think this app came out in 2014, right? Best I can tell. And what it does is track human feces on the ground in the open in San Francisco.
Right.
Now, it's worth pausing right there to appreciate that someone wrote a piece of software because they thought this would be worthwhile.
Right.
There would be enough people in a city walking around going, oh, that's human crap. You know what we ought to do is report that to this app so people know to stay away from the human crap.
And guess what? The app is in use, and it's working pretty good, apparently.
And it's been going strong for 2 years.
Because people need to know where not to step.
Right. So, again, pause for a moment. All kinds of crazy apps get made.
Right.
However, the market of San Francisco has gone, that's a good thing.
We need a poo map.
I mean,
poo mapping.
Right.
You gotta map the locations of the poo.
And not only is that the case, but it has a heat map of where the most crap in the city is in the open on the ground.
So you know what part of the city where you need to be extra vigilant to make sure you don't stomp on someone's boop.
And where is it, by the way? Shitty downtown San Francisco. Apparently really earning its name.
Right. Go figure. But apparently the dog patch is immaculate.
Well, that or no one can tell the difference.
Something.
Anyway, so back when I think it's been like a year now almost since we did like San Francisco was letting the homeless piss on the side of the street and just, whatever, that's fine.
We haven't even hit a year yet of recording.
No, but sometime last year.
Yes.
But anyway, so it's been a while.
Right.
But they put out a law that said it would be acceptable for people to piss in the street if they can't find a bathroom. And they did that and created this app seemingly because in 2009 they cut their Parks and Rec budget. And so, there's not as many public bathrooms, so hell with it, just piss on the side of a building, that's fine.
Right.
And unsurprisingly, when you tell people you can piss anywhere you want, they also shit anywhere they want.
Pretty much.
So, I mean...
Well, I mean, go on. That's the next logical step. If I can already pee wherever I want because I can't find a bathroom, I gotta offload the other one too.
Right. Well, I mean, as long as I'm here.
Saying.
And so, big surprise that this was the result. However, that brings us to why we're talking about this now. Because they keep track of statistics on how many dumps are left in various places throughout the city over the course of a whole year.
So there's poo tracking.
And so, well, that's what the whole app does. Right. But there's a statistical history.
There's a statistical history of poo dumping on the sidewalk.
Right. Which, I don't know how you don't find this funny at this point.
And you've seen parking out there. That's not people dropping it just off of the curb. You can't stick your ass out there. There's a car. It's straight on the sidewalk where people are walking.
Exactly. There's no way this is in the middle of the street.
Nope.
You would be dead. And then there'd be a body there instead of just poop.
Right.
Anyway. So, they released statistics for 2016. And they did it seemingly in the past couple of days. And downtown San Francisco has had, because they keep track of more than just poop, they also keep track of discarded needles and that sort of thing.
Yep.
And so they have had a 70% increase in discarded needles and other drug paraphernalia is the way they describe it. But more importantly, downtown San Francisco has had a 140% increase in pooping on the sidewalk over 2015.
Wow.
So, I mean, you know... Maybe it's just me.
Well, I mean, last time I checked, San Francisco is typically called the city of brotherly love, but apparently it's now the of pooping.
Right?
Lots of pooping.
Man, San Francisco.
San Francisco has become a toilet.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, you know, kind of always has been.
Or officially when they put it in the law saying, yeah, go right ahead, wherever you need to go.
Right. And what's amazing about this, by the way, and where this will invariably get truly terrible, is when we did the story on hepatitis A.
Right. That was San Diego. Right?
Yeah. But the coastline was complaining because the light rail line would run people up to Oakland.
Right. So it's moving its way up north.
Just, Oakland's not that far from Frisco.
No, it's not.
Hop, skip, and a jump, and you're right there.
That's a hike. For a homeless person, that's just a hike.
So, in 6 months, San Francisco's downtown is going to be knee-deep in both crap and hepatitis A.
Yeah.
So, smooth move.
Right? It sounds like San Francisco and the coastal areas are not really all that safe of a place to live.
Right. Well, I mean, you know, you can go to downtown Frisco and you can get your used needles.
Yep.
And a lot of we'll call them stool samples. They're just readily available.
Right.
Oh, and that brings me to another point. San Francisco spends $2 million a year cleaning up human waste.
Really?
Yeah.
You don't say.
And yet, despite $2 million a year budget for mopping crap off the street, there still needs to be this crap tracker app.
Right.
So, that's nice.
Well, you have to remember they don't have a technician on every street corner waiting for the Duke to drop.
You know what could solve that? Not letting people shit in the street.
Yes. More porta potties, apparently? Because they have porta potties all over the place.
Sure. I don't think that's really the problem. I don't know when the last time you were in Frisco was, but this is like the getting asked for money thing down there. Like, hey, do you have any money? No. Why not?
Okay, you were now recounting my story.
Right.
The last time we talked about San Francisco.
I think that's true.
Because last time I was in San Francisco was in November.
Oh, yeah. So, there's a level of entitlement that goes along with that, like, well, I could walk 100 feet that way and crap in a porta potty. Or like, there's a bush here.
I can just drop trow now because it's okay.
Right.
I won't get in trouble for it. Am I at least so many hundreds of feet away from a school at the very least, so I'm not being caught for indecent exposure?
Oh, no.
To children.
So part of the law for being able to, piss in public was that was no longer a thing in Frisco.
Oh. Okay.
So, you're good.
Good. Well, the hell, why not just go to the school's bus stop area?
Hey, how you doing, kids? Yeah. Any of you got the paper?
We got some papers. I got a white.
Right. Well, I don't know how big of a problem that is, apparently. Because, I guess, to be fair, they don't track whether or not there's toilet paper next to it, but I'm just guessing no.
Right. Then what would you use if you don't have toilet paper? Yes, I'm well aware. And that's the guy saying, give me some money later.
Right. Can I shake your hand? I really appreciate that.
Right. Where do you think the hepatitis is coming from, guys?
Right. Frisco is, unsurprisingly, literally turning into a cesspool.
It looks like it. Kind of wants you to make sure you stay away from there.
Yeah. Well, you would think. But it's still a really populous place.
Oh, I know.
And people keep voting for stuff like this, right? These laws. Oh, yeah, I feel really bad for the homeless people. They should be able to piss everywhere. What? Okay, look, I understand that the city council did that, so the people probably didn't vote directly for it, but it's not exactly like they got those city councilors out of there.
Yeah,
they were like, yeah, it's okay.
Yeah, they didn't get the city councilors out of there. They didn't launch some sort of protest saying, no, piss and shit on my sidewalk is not a thing.
Right.
They did not contest it, or else it probably wouldn't still be a thing.
Mm-hmm. And so, there it stays.
So, yeah, not wanting to visit San Francisco anytime soon.
No.
Again.
In promotion of that, though.
Right.
There is an attempt, and I am sure that the memes have begun hard enough that most of the internet's seen it by now, to sort of give us an East Virginia, West Virginia kind of thing going on over here in California, and just cut the coastline out, call that California, and call the rest of it New California.
Right.
And you know what's amazing, by the way, is to that earlier hepatitis discussion of there's a track going along the coast.
Right.
That is the exact track they want to cut out.
Yep. I did notice that when they showed the map.
So
it's the hepatitis run that they're cutting out.
Right. California can keep the hepatitis, and New California won't have progressive retards or hepatitis.
Right. But why call it New California?
Well, so
I thought there's already been a run for the state of Jefferson for a long time.
There has. But those guys haven't got any traction, so apparently they needed a rebrand. What's amazing is they already kicked out a Declaration of Independence, so apparently we're going to go to war with San Francisco pretty soon here. At least if the Revolutionary War is any example to go by.
Well, that shouldn't be too big of a deal. Last time I checked, I don't even have a gun store anymore.
No.
There's no guns in San Francisco.
No, not at all. So,
by comparison, we have plenty.
Right. New California will, I've been saying for years on and off that, Sacramento only gets to go so far before people come out of the hills and storm the Capitol building and go, okay, enough is enough.
Right.
And the reality is the hills have more guns than the Sacramento cops. So
and by this declaration, the hills have said, enough is enough.
Right. Because it is the Sierra Nevada mountain range that is like, okay, the rest of you, go away.
Stop. Stop it. You're all being idiots, and you're making us look bad.
Well, not just that. I mean, looking bad's one thing. This, progressive socialist utopia is working out well for me. Like, no, for the rest of it is not.
And what it is that these are people who still love their state and don't want to have to uproot their entire life to go someplace else to not have to deal with this anymore.
Exactly.
And they're going to say, well, the problem is actually centralized right here. Right. Like you would with a cancer. Let's cut it out. You're your thing.
Yeah. Well, that and, when Trump builds the wall, maybe he'll build it around that.
At this point in time, we can hope. We need to contain the hepatitis.
Right.
It's quarantine.
It's going to be Escape from L.A. for real.
Yes, it is. Now we just need to find someone who calls himself Snake Plissken and tell him to go in there and clean it up.
Right? That'll work out great.
Or rescue the president.
Sure. I don't think the president will ever be, well, not this president anyway, be going there.
Well, who wants to visit a shithole?
That's a good point. That's a good point. Oh, man. It's going to... I have no hope that this will actually happen. But it would be amazing.
Now, if anybody from San Francisco watches our show, they're going to get pissed that we made this episode.
Maybe.
But they should have done something to prevent it from being a necessity.
Well, look at it this way. You can feel pissed that we made this episode, or you can walk outside and get shit on.
Right.
So, you know, I'm not going to be that upset about it.
No.
So, anyway.
But, God, just damn.
Exactly. But, look, this is sort of, this new California thing is the same sort of thing that I have been saying for years, and as have lots of other people. There is a population density along the coastline that runs this state.
Yeah.
And their progressive retardation pisses off the entire rest of the state.
Well, that's the whole thing is, well, you have to look at it this way. If you look at it in a broader sense, most of the country says that about the 4 states, California included.
Yeah.
It's these most populous states that are running the rest of the country. They have the largest percentage of the Electoral College votes.
Well, if they did, Trump would not be our president. So
No, because one of them actually voted for Trump this time around. That's why.
Maybe. But regardless, you can complain about that at an electoral college level all you want, but the reality is we swap between the two parties. That's what happens. Mm-hmm. So, and that's why the electoral college is there, and it's doing its job.
Right.
Now, that said, by the way, you want to talk about a complete change-up of what the electoral college map is going to look like, and why a lot of people are not going to want this to happen. Specifically, the entire Democratic Party is going to be like, no. You don't get to cut up our 55 electoral votes.
Nope.
Because if you did, we are losing 100% of the votes that move away from the coastline.
Yep.
Because, well, look, fairly conservative people in California come in one of two methods. Those that are becoming kind of conservative, and those who are like, fuck this state, launch it, launch San Francisco into the ocean. It can become its own country. No one wants it anyway. Just sever the Golden Gate Bridge and let them sink. Who cares? And give me my guns and my steak and my whiskey and leave me alone. Right?
Right. Yes, there are plenty of people like that.
Yes. So,
but now, if it wasn't littered with poo, I happen to like San Francisco.
Mm.
It is way too expensive to live there.
San Francisco is the embodiment of everything wrong with California. The land itself is beautiful. The even the stores down there are pretty cool. There's lots of great stuff available there. There's great things to do. The people there make it horrifically terrible to be anywhere near it.
Apparently.
And just, it is concentrated California that way.
Pretty much.
So, and apparently with a side of crap. But,
right.
Though, wouldn't be there if not for the people. So,
pretty much.
And unsurprising, by the way, then, that the moment California said, hey, we want to secede from the Union, that half of California went, well, if we're doing that, we want to secede from you.
Right. It's like, Cal-Exit's a thing. All right, how about we call just you California? Because the rest of us are fine being part of the U.S.
Right. And it is, look at that map, because it's a map of counties. And then go back and look at the map of counties that voted for, say, Trump versus Clinton, right? And you will find a lot of blue counties, Clinton voting counties, in the side that wants to be new California. And that's fine. That's not a big deal. Check the votes in those counties. And what you will find is that even though lots of those counties went to Clinton, there was a lot of Trump voting, and he was a horrendously unpopular person for the right.
Yes, there's a lot of those counties that were barely blue, because some of us here in California paid attention to that. That's also why we caught reference that, why are we calling our election counts done at 3 p.m. in the afternoon?
Yeah.
People aren't even off of work yet.
Exactly. But that, this is California, so you want the votes of people on welfare, the homeless, and the illegal immigrants.
The people who can do it at the first part of the day.
Right.
The people who might oppose it are at work, so we cut it off before they can vote.
Yeah.
I think that's the only reason California was blue this time around.
No, not at all. The major population centers would have carried us as blue, right? They always do. Since, like, Reagan or something. But the simple fact of the matter is, this is how California does gerrymandering, right? It's
right.
So, let the teachers get out of school and go vote. Okay, technically every workplace has to let you go vote, but, there's a reality that, well, I'll just go vote at 5 p.m. because the polling stations used to be open till 9.
Well, no, that's the whole thing. Is the polling stations are typically open later, and the boss says, "Sure, go ahead and vote. You're not getting paid for it."
Yeah,
and as we keep pointing out around here, a lot of people are living paycheck to paycheck. They can't afford to lose that cash to vote.
It's California, and one of the stories that we didn't cover and probably should have today, so I'll just do it in immense briefness, is that we are the poorest state in the union. 20% of the state's in poverty. I'm sure those people are giving up a paycheck to
vote.
Right. So, I don't know, man. I am for this New California thing.
I just find it strange that we're, the 6th largest economy in the world, but we're the poorest state.
Well, Venezuela. And that's the end of our show for the day.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.
And those that sexually identify as attack helicopters.
Feel free to call us names in the comment section. The like button is over there.
And so is the dislike button.
The subscribe button is over there.
Do your thing and have a nice day.
Bye, everybody.